Damn you baggers and brews boys, and specifically DeBeard. I am hung over like I haven't been in a long time because we had so much fun on their live stream last night. It was 3.5 hours of badness. I want to watch that video. I bet you if you watch that live stream now, there's a lot of zzz at the end of it, but because I was into the scotch and soda pretty hard. Anyway, oh, and before I forget, tonight, Friday, today's the 23rd, I think. Friday night, 8 o'clock is our own live stream, so it's fine. I'll just start over, you know, hair of the dog, and we'll get back into it 8 o'clock and have a good time. So join us. Oh, I guess I got to do the vroom vroom. We're gonna tear the rear end apart of this thing today because, you know, it's been home 24 hours. It's time to take it apart. I gotta clean this place up too. We did the headlights install yesterday. There's stuff everywhere. I figured out the exhaust bracket temporary fix. It's not pretty, but it'll work. Basically just took the stock bracket and beat the hell out of it so that it's at least holding the pipe up better until S&S comes out with a better solution. Got the intake on. Today I'm going to start the Tour Pack quick release, which may not be a good idea because, again, the hangover is making my brain not as good as it normally is. Not that it's normally that good, but... So, first thing I'm going to do is take the pack off, unplug all the cables, and take the pack off the hard rack, because I've also got that cheapo, well, not cheapo, but that smoked light. So we'll do that conversion until... I'm hoping Custom Dynamics has a new one coming out. That's what I'm told. And they'll hopefully maybe want to give me one of them. Because I'm sure it's going to look better than this thing. This is just a smoked lens on, you know, this light. But at least it'll all be the same color. I feel like I'm rambling. I apologize in advance for what I'm sure is going to be a low quality video. All right, let me clean up and then we'll get back at this. We're at an exciting stage. Look at what a sweet rear end she's got. I mean, we all love the practicality of a Tour Pack. I know that I do. You know, I used to have one, got rid of it when I got CVO, and then went back to an Ultra because, man, is it nice to have a Tour Pack, especially a King Pack. You know, because I can put full face helmets in there and stuff. But I want to be able to make the decision. So I took the 4 bolts out of the bottom of the Tour Pack, 4 nuts, I'm sorry, off the bottom of the Tour Pack. So in short, if you haven't seen my earlier videos, this guy has a big metal plate in the bottom of it, and out from the bottom is 4 studs, right? And those 4 studs go through the plate that's under it, and on the bottom of that is a 7/16 nut. So you take 4 nuts off the bottom, and now your Tour Pack is just sitting with the studs through those holes. You then take your back seat, or your seat off your back seat in my case, and unplug all these connectors. And there are several. You got antenna and antenna. I don't understand why there's two antennas. 2 antennas, some speaker hookups, the main like brake wiring, this, that, and the other, that, and power. I think there's a power outlet in there, so that's that. You know, all this stuff you unplug, and then you have to free those plugs from the black shelf. So you'll get what I'm talking about. It's got these guys, you know, the plugs slide off of that. So my way of doing it, and for your guys' benefit, I did not do any how to do this video search. I'm just going to figure it out. Unplug those, then slide that off of these, right? So that the pack is now free from the, let's call it shelf. And then take the pack off, and then you just take 4 Torx what are they, 40? Yeah, T40 Torx. One there and one there, you know, on each side, and then that sucker just goes zoop, right out of there. So it's a breeze so far. Now that I've said that, things are going to catch fire. It's all going to go bad. But one thing I can see already is going to be a huge pain in my rear is I'm going to have to figure out how to get this massive hunk under the seat. Maybe I'll find a good spot. I don't know. And I still have to come up with a solution for the antenna. A lot of you dudes out there who are smarter than me had said that what they did is they ran the antenna. They took the antenna off and then, you know, hooked up an antenna and then ran one under the seat. I'm going to try and do that. I just don't know how well it's going to work. but eventually that's my solution. I'm not even that worried about it because, to be honest, I never listen to the radio. I'm always my phone, And on my phone, I listen to an app so I can stream my local radio station from home down here in Florida. I listen to 105.7 The Point from St. Louis a lot. And so that's my radio. So I'm not real worried about that. I'll figure that out, if not today, in the next few days. But let's get back at it. Not a whole lot to show you at this point. Now I'm going to put on the quick release hardware, which I'm sure is idiot proof, and we'll get back at it. My quick release hardware I bought, just so you understand the whole point, is I wanted to show how to do this without Harley's kit, just because Harley's kit has an ugly license plate holder, and like Harley's kit mounts the license plate like this, which is, I don't like that, right? So what I did was all the stuff from Custom Dynamics to do it, with the exception of the hard brackets that you use. And those, I think I got those from Hogworks. I don't remember where I got them, honestly, because I bought them so long ago. But we'll put that stuff on. Then we'll do the different tail light, because you need a light that shines down on the tag. And I have an illuminated frame, so we'll get all that stuff wired up too. So back at it. So I'm at a stopping point, not for the day, I just mean the logical one. Because I wanted to show how to do this, and this is really cool, and I'm really happy with the way it's shaping up. And I definitely think this is better than just buying Harley's kit, because your bike's gonna end up cooler looking. And I haven't done the math, but I don't think it's gonna cost any more than Harley stuff, because the Hogworks stuff's a few $100 for the hard bracketry for your tour pack that you get from them. And then Custom Dynamics sells this lower mount, which I've never had a piece of hard chrome from them, but it's a nice piece. It's good chrome. There's no like, I'm anal retentive, you know what I mean, about chrome quality and stuff. And this is really nicely made. So this bracket is going to go behind the collar that your tail light's in. So all you do, and I'll show you where I'm at right now, is the tail light's held in with 2 Phillips screws. I'm sorry, here we go. So, you know, this guy, this plug goes through that hole and plugs into the board, and this just sits there. So you take the 2 screws out of the tail light, then you unplug the tail light from right there and take it off. Then you take 1 Phillips screw, I don't know if you can see the hole out of there, right there. You then lift up on this guy, it just goes click up, and then you unplug this cable from that plug, pull it through the hole, and now you've got this free. And then what's gonna happen, real simply, is, want to see my face up close? No, you don't. Is this is gonna go between the taillight. You know, there's some 3M tape that'll also secure it to the fender, but this is gonna go in between the taillight mount and the fender, and there you go. So now your plate goes down here, and you use, Custom Dynamics sent me the taillight they make that has a bottom window. I don't know if anyone else makes this on earth. It's a unique product. So it's their Pro Beam taillight, but the tag window is on the bottom instead of on the top, so you can see your plate. They also sent me an illuminated license plate frame that's bent to match the radius of, you know, their mount. I don't know that I'll use this today, because you do splice this guy in, and I need some T connectors that I don't have handy. So for today, I'm just gonna get this buttoned up with it mounted, and then I'll figure that, because you know, you can use those easy T connectors to wire this into the taillight harness, but I don't have those handy, so I'm not gonna do that today. But I am gonna get the quick release finished, that new taillight, this plate mount, the new smoked taillight for the tour pack on, and we'll get her buttoned up and ready to ride before the live stream tonight. But no, this is a very cool way of doing this. Also, I was thinking, I don't know why I thought I needed this to light up the plate, since you have the bottom plate window on the taillight. There's another expense you don't have to incur. You know, you don't need this. All you need is the different taillight, their cooler mount, the hard brackets, and that's it. Oh, and you need turn signals, which they sent me some blade style for the bags. I gotta put those on, but I think that's a pretty easy install too. But I'm gonna get back at it. I'll check back in a bit. Whew. Done. I didn't do a how-to, because none of this stuff's difficult. This is not technical. So the reason I did the Rockford Fosgate stereo, I actually had them throw in the quick release kit installed on the bike when I bought it, and that's $1,200. And then I used the $1,200 for stereo instead, because I was gonna do it myself. The reason it's $1,200, it's $600 for the kit and another $600 in labor. And it's not that you need a mechanic's expertise, you know, to do this. You don't. It's you know, if you can turn a screwdriver and you got half a brain in your head, you can do this. It's just a lot of time. It just takes a long time to do it. So they bill you 6 hours, and you know what? I think it took me about 6 hours. I think so. I think I started this about 6 hours ago. So it just takes a long time to do it. It's just, you know, whatever. So here's the finished product. You don't want to see my face anymore. Or maybe you do. If you do, seek help. Anyway, bam. Look, I even covered my plate because you guys are great people. I have so many people out there I consider my friend who every time are like, stop on your damn license plate. Blah, blah, blah. So I covered it. Like y'all haven't seen it 6,000 times. But there she is, and the tour pack is on its bracket sitting over there. New taillight is in the tour pack. So that, I wish I'd have waited for Custom Dynamics to come out with theirs, to be honest, because it's supposed to, what they said, first quarter, but you know, everything's running late around the whole world. So that light, I'm sure it works fine. The shape's not perfect. There's the gaps on the edge, the holes, just like all this stuff that's aftermarket. The holes aren't quite straight, and you know, it looks good now. It looks good on the tour pack, and except for the fact that I think the lens is a little more brown than it is gray, but and it wasn't cheap. I don't remember, but I paid $150, I think, for that, or you know, and for a from where light, that's awful expensive. And it took forever to get here, like a month. So overall, I would say hang out and either buy the Harley's light, which is probably $9,000, or Custom Dynamics supposed to come out with theirs. The reason I say I wish I wouldn't have done it is because I'm gonna get Custom Dynamics light for the tour pack one way or the other. If they give me one, fantastic. If not, I'll end up buying one. But I hate taking that light out. It's such a pain in the butt because you got to take the liner out. No. I guess I won't have to take the plate out. So you know, anyway, I wish I would have just waited for theirs. So that's the verdict on that light. This rear end, though, I think is much cooler looking. The reason I did this, I said Harley's kit's $600. Harley's kit includes a horribly ugly license plate holder that goes like that. Their lights that go here, but they're much bigger and chunkier, which, if you know, that's your thing, whatever. But I really like the sleekness of these. And the brackets for here and for the bag, and I think that's about it. So you're getting the turn signals that you need, a mast for your license plate, and then the hardware to convert this to quick release. Oh, and like the wiring you need for an antenna. So there's some little things. Like I still don't have my antenna situation figured out, but I don't use the radio. But what I ended up here with was, for I think about the same money. If you were to buy this taillight and these turn signals and their bracket, and then these two pieces, I think I ended up being about the same price. But I'll show you what mine looks like lit up, which is cooler. What I got for that money was that rear end. You know what I mean? With their LED tube. Here's the radio, doesn't work. There's no reception because there's no antenna. I got a ProBeam taillight with the LED tubes in it. I got their very thin turn signals, and it's blocked by the rag, but a radius, you know, bent license plate mount, which looks very, very cool, actually. I wish they didn't have to hide my license plate number, but it's cool. A much cooler looking result than what Harley's kit would have been for the same money. So that's what I'm saying. Buy, if I were you, Custom Dynamics taillight, their blade lights. Pick up your hardware mounting for your pack from anywhere, Hogworks, or I've heard actually there's some good Amazon stuff out there. If you're just buying, you know, the mount brackets and then the shelf that goes under the tour pack. That's not complicated stuff. You can pick that up from a million different places. So those two things, your turn signals, your taillight, and your license plate mount, and you got a pretty slick quick release kit on your bike. You know, coiling up the big giant wiring harness, you know, this big giant harness that normally comes back to the tour pack, wasn't as bad as I thought. I'm not going to take the seat off because I'm not going to undo it. But I just basically, it starts here. I just coiled it up and then stuck the plug and stuff up the frame tube. And it was fine. And this CVO seat doesn't give you any room, you know, for stuff. And it wasn't that bad, you know. I don't want to do it every day, but not the end of the world. So now I have my tour pack, but I also have my glorified Street Glide. It would cost a lot more money to buy a Street Glide and buy all the stuff you need to turn it into a full dresser, and it still wouldn't be. And this is an interesting point I was talking about with a friend of mine the other day. So, well, the Street Glide, you get a more stripped down looking bike, and then you can add lowers in a tour pack. No, because this has a different motor in it. Something you always forget about. The Ultra Limited has the wet head. So, you know, I have radiators in here and fans, and the only liquid cooling on the bike is the heads. It's not radiating through the whole motor. This is not a liquid cooled motorcycle. Just the heads are cooled. So it's going to live longer. It's going to run cooler. From experience, it performs better when you're stuck in a bunch of traffic. If you're sitting, I'm going to bring up Sturgis again, but if you're on Main Street sitting there doing the whole clutch workout for an hour and a half, this bike's going to stay a lot cooler because those fans are going to kick on and blow hot air. You wouldn't believe the heat that thing pulls out of it. Because this is actually the vent where the heat escapes. And if it's hot and those fans are running, you put your hand there, you'll be shocked how hot that air is coming out. So it's pulling a ton of heat out of the motor with those radiators. So I think it's better, buy an Ultra Limited and convert it to quick release, and you just got a really cool Street Glide with a wet head motor in it. To me, it's better. Now, does it cost more? Yeah, because on the front end, you buy an Ultra Limited, it costs more than Street Glide. But I think, man, by the time you buy a tour pack and lowers and whatnot and still don't have a wet head, you're gonna spend more money. So that's about it, man. I'm gonna go inside and see if I can't get this video cut up and uploaded before this live stream even tonight. I don't know what time it is. 2:30. Okay, so we're on in 5.5 hours. Enough time for me to clean this funk off of me. And we'll hang out tonight and have a cocktail and shoot the you-know-what. So take care of each other out there. We'll talk soon, and bye. Mrs. Monkey's off camera because she says she's not camera ready. One last thing, I showed her these lights, and she was like, you can't not have these in the video. So, yeah. So there's the running light. But these are the turn signals I went with. So they're progressive ambers. I just thought amber would be kind of cool. You know, everyone has red, so I always like to be different. And then you're not going to be able to show you the brake. I can't hit the thing and run around fast enough. Here, you do it. Try not to get the license plate in there because people are concerned for us. So you see there are also brake lights.
Very nice. Very nice.
So I can't show that because you got.
This is the best shot right there.
Yeah, right. Okay, so see y'all in a couple hours.